Have you ever felt completely drained after talking to someone? Like all your energy has just been sucked out of you? If so, you've probably encountered a toxic person. They come in all shapes and sizes: the constant complainer, the gossip, the manipulator, the one who always plays the victim. Dealing with them can be exhausting and downright damaging to your mental health. But what if I told you there's a smarter way to handle these situations? It's not about engaging in dramatic fights or trying to fix them. It's about outsmarting them, silently and effectively, to protect your own peace. Stick around, because today we are diving into the clever strategies smart people use to neutralize toxicity and reclaim their power. First things first, you need to recognize the signs. Toxic behavior isn't always loud and aggressive. Sometimes it's subtle. It's the backhanded compliments, the passive-aggressive comments, the constant need for attention, or the way they twist your words. The key is to trust your gut. If someone consistently makes you feel bad, anxious, or confused, that's a red flag. Acknowledge that feeling. Don't dismiss it or make excuses for them. The first step to outsmarting a toxic person is to simply see them for who they are, without the sugarcoating. This isn't about labeling someone as evil, but about recognizing a pattern of behavior that is unhealthy for you. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, and that's where your power begins. Now here's a powerful technique smart people use. They become a gray rock. Imagine a boring, gray rock. It's uninteresting, unresponsive, and offers nothing to engage with. That's what you become. When a toxic person tries to provoke you, complain to you, or draw you into their drama, you give them nothing. Respond with short, unemotional, and generic phrases. I see. Okay. Don't share personal information. Don't offer opinions. Don't ask questions. Toxic people feed on drama and emotional reactions. When you don't provide that, they lose interest. They're like a fire that needs oxygen to burn. By being a gray rock, you're cutting off their supply. This isn't about being rude. It's about being a black hole for their negativity. It's a silent, brilliant way to make them go away on their own. Another crucial strategy is setting firm boundaries. This is where many of us struggle, because we're taught to be polite and accommodating. But with toxic people, politeness is often seen as a weakness they can exploit. Boundaries are your non-negotiable rules for how you expect to be treated. For example, if you have a friend who constantly calls to complain for hours, you can say, "I only have about 10 minutes to chat right now." If they try to push that limit, you politely end the conversation. "As I said, I have to go now, but let's talk another time." Be clear, be firm, and most importantly, be consistent. They will test your boundaries, that's a guarantee. But every time you hold firm, you teach them how to treat you. You're not controlling them. You're controlling your own time and energy. Let's talk about a specific type of toxic person: the manipulator. These are the masters of guilt-tripping and twisting reality to make you doubt yourself, a tactic known as gaslighting. You might hear things like, "You're being too sensitive," or "I never said that. You're imagining things." The smart way to counter this is to become a fact-checker of your own reality. If you have a conversation that you know might be twisted later, follow up with a text or email summarizing what was discussed. "Hey, just to confirm our chat earlier, we agreed on X." This creates a written record. It's not for them, it's for you. It validates your own memory and prevents them from making you feel like you're going crazy. It takes away their most powerful weapon, your self-doubt. Smart people also understand the power of selective engagement. You don't have to show up to every argument you're invited to. A toxic person will often try to bait you into a fight to get that emotional reaction they crave. They'll say something provocative or insulting just to get a rise out of you. The smartest thing you can do? Nothing. Just let it hang in the air. A simple, calm, "I'm not going to have this conversation with you," is incredibly powerful. It shows them that you are in control of your emotions and that their tactics do not work on you. Remember, winning an argument with a toxic person is impossible because they don't play by the rules of logic or fairness. The only way to win is not to play their game at all. This leads to my next point. Focus on solutions, not problems. Toxic individuals love to dwell on problems. They complain, they blame, they get stuck in a cycle of negativity. When you're forced to interact with them, say at work or in a family setting, steer the conversation toward solutions. If a coworker is complaining endlessly about a project, you can say, "Okay, I understand the challenges. What's one small step we could take to start moving forward? This shifts the energy. It forces them to either think constructively or drop the subject, because problem solving isn't as fun as complaining. You're not just deflecting their negativity, you're actively redirecting the conversation onto a more productive and positive track. And what about when the toxic person is someone you can't easily remove from your life, like a family member or a boss? This is where strategic distance comes in. You don't have to cut them off completely, but you can limit your exposure. Keep conversations short and superficial. Reduce the frequency of your interactions. Opt for group settings where their behavior is more likely to be diluted and you're not the sole target. Think of it like managing exposure to a mild allergen. You don't need to live in a bubble, but you do need to be mindful and limit contact to a level that you can handle without having a negative reaction. It's about managing the dose of toxicity you allow into your life. One of the most important things smart people do is invest in their own support system. Dealing with toxicity is draining, and you can't do it alone. Surround yourself with positive, supportive, and uplifting people who validate your feelings and recharge your batteries. When you have a strong network of friends and loved ones who treat you with respect, it becomes much easier to recognize and reject toxic behavior. These healthy relationships serve as a benchmark. They remind you of what normal, respectful interaction feels like, making the dysfunction of a toxic relationship stand out even more. Your support system is your anchor in the storm of someone else's drama. Finally, and this is the ultimate power move, smart people practice radical self-care and self-compassion. They understand that a toxic person's behavior is not a reflection of their own worth. It's a reflection of the toxic person's own issues, insecurities, and pain. Don't internalize their negativity. Don't let their criticism define you. After a difficult interaction, do something that makes you feel good. Go for a walk, listen to your favorite music, talk to a trusted friend, or practice mindfulness. Remind yourself of your strengths, your accomplishments, and your value. Forgiving yourself for getting drawn into their drama in the past is also key. Protecting your mental and emotional well-being is not selfish. It is your number one priority. To recap, outsmarting toxic people isn't about confrontation. It's about strategy. It's about recognizing the behavior, becoming a gray rock, setting firm boundaries, fact-checking your reality, choosing not to engage in their games, focusing on solutions, creating strategic distance, building a strong support system, and practicing radical self-care. By implementing these silent but powerful techniques, you stop being a victim of their drama and become the calm, confident architect of your own peace. You take back your power, not by changing them, but by changing how you respond to them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope these strategies empower you to handle the difficult people in your life with grace and strength. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more content on building a happier, healthier life. And share in the comments below. What's one strategy you're going to try? I'd love to hear from you. Stay strong and take care.